Kia ora e te whānau and welcome to this COVID-19 update brought to you by Hauora Tairawhiti. I'm Matai Smith. Well, as many of you would have heard by now, last night it was announced that COVID-19 has been detected in our wastewater samples here in Tūranga, Gisborne. Now, understandably, for some of us, it has caused a bit of angst, anxiety, confusion, and even a little bit of panic. Well, moments ago, I spoke to the CEO of Hauora Tairawhiti, Jim Green, and asked a couple of questions to hopefully enlighten us all on the situation. And I began by asking him, so, COVID in our wastewater, what exactly does this mean?
Well, it means that there's somebody in the community here who's excreting it, so they're flushing it down the toilet. When they go to the toilet, they're flushing it down. That's getting into the water that goes out to the sewer, and then they're sampling that out of the sewer and finding the DNA of the virus in that water. Yeah, so there's a couple of options around that. There's one option that it's somebody that's come back into the country and been through the MIQ process and come out the other end, but still is excreting the virus, so the virus is still coming through them. They're no longer contagious, they're no longer passing the virus on to anybody, but it's still coming through and we can still detect it. So that's one option, and of course the other option is that somehow somebody has become infected somewhere else and has come into our community and is now living in our community and is excreting the virus as well. So that's the two options that are out there. That's why we're checking to see with swabbing people to see if we can find if there may be somebody in our community that's either got it or they passed it on to other people. Yes, absolutely. Purely coincidental. So the first bit of testing that happened was on the 1st of November, so well before when the flooding occurred. And people shouldn't be worried about the fact that it got into the wastewater, because by the time it gets there, it's no longer active. People can't catch the virus from that. So it's just the fact that we can detect it still. So people shouldn't be worried about that. And even in the fact that over the last few days, we know some of that's wastewater, the sewage has got into the come back up again is not a problem either. Obviously it's a problem, you don't want to get into that, but not a problem for catching the virus from that. Absolutely, we need to keep on tracking to see if it's still there, if it was just a transitory thing, if somebody's come back into the community and it's now passed through their system, there's no further problem, or obviously somebody may have been here and then now left again. But we just really want to track it down to see what's happening there, so that more wastewater testing and obviously more swabbing people to see if they've got the virus. It's going to be difficult to find that, but generally with the way in which the virus works, it's very, very easy for one person to pass it on to another. So even if we don't find the original person that has got it, if they've passed it on to other people, it'll start to show up very quickly because it's very, very quick to pass from one person to another. That's right, absolutely. Yep. If you've got any of the symptoms, the coughing, the sneezing, even if you've got diarrhea, things like that, those are things to be able to get checked out, to get tested, and you can get tested here today in Tūranga at Peel Street in the drive-through there, or at general practices, or up in Ruatoria at the clinic at Ruatoria as well.
Akati, so just reiterating what Jim has just said there, if you do have COVID symptoms, please go and get checked at 110 Peel Street where they're doing the swabs. And of course, for those of you that are yet to still get your first or second COVID vaccination jab, you can head on down to one of these places here, Biadua, Karawhiua. Well, that's all for now, but we will continue to update you as this situation develops. Kia hau maru te noho, a Matai Smith, hei kona maira.